Good day, everyone. Today, we're diving deep into the world of logistics, a sector that keeps our global economy moving. We'll be looking at a fascinating case study featuring OmniTrans logistics as they navigate the complex supply chains of Southeast Asia. Imagine managing cargo flows across a region known for its dynamic and sometimes unpredictable conditions. From seasonal monsoons to sudden port congestion and volatile fuel prices, the challenges are immense. OmniTrans Logistics is at a crossroads. They need a smarter, more agile way to manage their routes and capacities. The traditional methods are just not cutting it anymore. They are currently exploring an advanced AI-driven system to help them stay ahead. This system isn't just about finding the cheapest route. It's about understanding risk and making intelligent decisions based on probabilities. At the same time, their regional managers are pushing for a more holistic approach, one that balances cost, reliability, and a growing concern for our planet, carbon emissions. Let's unpack how they can achieve this. So, how can a company like OmniTrans tackle such a complex web of uncertainties? The key lies in a powerful combination of quantitative models. First up, we have the probabilistic optimization model. Think of this as a crystal ball, but one powered by data. It analyzes historical information on everything from delivery times and traffic patterns to breakdown incidents. By running thousands of simulations, this model can predict the likelihood of delays on any given route. This allows OmniTrans to proactively adjust their plans, choosing paths that have the highest probability of a smooth, on-time delivery. It's about moving from a reactive what-if mindset to a proactive what's most likely strategy, ensuring service reliability even when things go wrong. Next, we have the classic transportation model. This is the bedrock of their logistics planning. Its primary goal is to find the most cost-effective way to get goods from their 3 main hubs to 4 regional depots, all while meeting specific weekly demands and staying within the capacity limits of each hub. For example, Depot A needs 30 trips per week, and Hub 1 can supply up to 40 trips. The model crunches the numbers to determine the cheapest allocation of these trips. This is the foundational layer that ensures the entire operation is financially sound and efficient. It's the engine that drives cost savings. But what about sustainability? This is where multi-criteria decision analysis, or MCDA, comes into play. In today's world, being the cheapest isn't enough. Companies are increasingly judged on their environmental impact. OmniTrans has set a sustainability weight of 30%, which is a significant commitment. MCDA provides a structured way to evaluate routes not just on cost, but on multiple factors simultaneously. It allows them to score each route based on cost, its reliability index, and its carbon footprint. This powerful tool helps them make informed trade-offs, ensuring that their pursuit of efficiency doesn't come at the expense of their environmental responsibilities. It's about finding that sweet spot where profitability and sustainability can coexist and thrive. Now, let's get a bit more technical and talk about the Markov process. This sounds complex, but the concept is actually quite intuitive. It's a way to model the journey of each vehicle through different states. Imagine a single truck in the OmniTrans fleet. At any given moment, it can be in one of 4 states: available at a hub ready for a mission, en route to a depot, delayed due to unforeseen issues like traffic or a breakdown, or idle after a delivery waiting for its next assignment. The Markov process uses a transition matrix to define the probability of moving from one state to another. For instance, based on OmniTrans's data, we know the route from Hub 1 to Depot A has a reliability index of 0.90. This means there's a 90% chance the truck will transition smoothly from en route to idle upon arrival. But it also means there's a 10% chance it transitions from en route to delayed. By modeling these probabilities across the entire fleet and all routes, the Markov process can predict the long-term state of the system. For a manager, this is incredibly valuable. It helps them answer critical questions like, on any given day, how many trucks can I realistically expect to be available for new jobs? Or, what percentage of my fleet is likely to be stuck in delays? This predictive power allows for much better resource planning and helps set realistic expectations for the entire supply chain. It turns guesswork into a calculated science. So, we have these powerful models. But how do they work together to create a truly integrated solution? let's revisit multi-criteria decision analysis and see how it partners with the transportation model. This is where the magic really happens, turning raw data into strategic decisions. Think of it like creating a report card for each potential delivery route. The transportation model does the initial homework. It identifies a set of feasible routes that meet demand within capacity and at the lowest possible cost. For example, it might suggest sending 20 trips from Hub 1 to Depot A because it has a cheap route at 14,000 pesos per trip. But that's just one grade on the report card. Now, MCDA steps in as the principal, evaluating the full picture. It gives each route a score based on 3 key subjects. First, cost. Cheaper routes get a higher grade. Second, reliability. The route from Hub 1 to Depot A has a high reliability of 0.90, so it gets another good grade. Third, and crucially, eco-friendliness. This is where OmniTrans' 30% sustainability priority comes into play. Routes with lower carbon emissions get a significant boost to their overall score. A route might be cheap and reliable, but if it's a heavy polluter, MCDA will flag it. Conversely, another route, maybe from Hub 3 to Depot C, might be slightly more expensive at 17,000 pesos and a bit less reliable at 0.85. However, if it has a much smaller carbon footprint, the MCDA model, factoring in that 30% sustainability weight, might rank it as the superior choice. This combined approach empowers managers to move beyond one-dimensional thinking. They can see the trade-offs clearly and select routes that represent the best overall value for the company, aligning day-to-day operational choices with long-term strategic goals for both profit and the planet. It's about making smarter, more balanced decisions. Of course, the real world is never static. What happens when the unexpected strikes? Imagine a sudden spike in fuel prices overnight, or a new report indicating that port congestion at a key location has doubled. This is where a company's agility is truly tested. Managerial decision rules can't be set in stone, they must be dynamic. When probabilities shift unexpectedly, the old rules might no longer apply. A route that was once the cheapest might now be prohibitively expensive due to fuel costs. The focus might need to shift from minimizing total cost to prioritizing fuel efficiency. A manager might decide to give more weight to reliability, even if it costs a bit more, to avoid the now higher risk of costly delays. This is where OmniTrans' investment in an AI-driven system pays off. The system can immediately ingest the new data, the higher fuel price, the new delay probabilities, and rerun the optimization models in real time. It will generate a new set of recommended routes based on the updated reality. In essence, adapting to change means rebalancing priorities. Managers must be empowered to adjust the weights in their decision-making framework. The AI provides the data-driven insights, but human judgment is still key to deciding which trade-offs to make. Do we absorb the higher fuel costs to maintain delivery speed, or do we switch to a slower, more fuel-efficient route? These are the tough calls that managers have to make, and having a dynamic system provides them with the best possible information to make them wisely. This adaptability is the hallmark of a resilient and competitive logistics operation. So, let's bring it all together. By weaving together probabilistic optimization, the transportation model, the Markov process, and multi-criteria decision analysis, OmniTrans Logistics can build a formidable operational strategy. This isn't just about using a few fancy tools, it's about creating a synergistic system where each model enhances the others. Probabilistic optimization and the Markov process help them understand and prepare for uncertainty. The transportation model provides a cost-efficient foundation, and MCDA ensures that broader strategic goals like sustainability are embedded into every decision. This integrated approach transforms the role of a manager. They are no longer just reacting to problems. They are becoming strategic decision-makers. Armed with data-driven insights, they can confidently balance short-term costs with long-term goals and pivot quickly when conditions change. Ultimately, this comprehensive framework doesn't just improve day-to-day efficiency, it builds a more resilient, responsible, and competitive organization, ready to thrive in the complex world of modern logistics and support the company's long-term growth. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive into logistics optimization. I hope you found it insightful.